I know I'm extremely late to this because WWDC had happened basically roughly a month ago, and yeah, I've been a little slacking off in terms of uploading to this channel. I know. I gotta be honest with you guys. WWDC this time around, I actually didn't watch it, and I have only just watched the recaps this time, and I gotta admit, it's really hard to be impressed with what Apple has been doing for the past how many months or years now or something like that. I'm not becoming a hater of them, I'm just becoming disappointed. And maybe when I explain to you my thoughts on Apple's Vision Pro, maybe I can explain to you why I've been disappointed with Apple lately. No skit today, no funny antics and such. This is going to be me being serious this time. I need to explain my thought about what Apple thinks their future will be. So let's just dive in to the Apple Vision Pro headset. I don't usually talk this gentle, but I'm going to because I'm just disappointed. When I'm disappointed, I don't get all animated and such, and I only get animated when I have really strong feelings towards something. And yeah, I'm gonna be a little calmer tone in this video compared to my usual super hyped up, be extremely happy and excited or extremely angry and frustrated. That's not how I feel in this video. This video, I'm actually more scared of and disappointed than excited or frustrated or any of those feelings. And Vision Pro definitely scares me a lot. And it's not for the reasons you guys are probably thinking. In fact, the reason why I'm scared of Apple Vision Pro in the first place actually has nothing to do with tech or gadgets in general. Though, of course, this is a tech channel. So let's actually talk about the hardware techie side of the Vision Pro headset itself. And that, I gotta admit, I'm very impressed with what Apple actually came out hardware-wise, and software-wise is kind of lacking at the moment, but again, it's in its very early stages of development at the moment, and third-party developers haven't had time to actually develop apps for it. So yeah, it's a bit limited in what it can do at the moment, though. I assume once it comes out next year, third-party developers will have their time to develop apps for it, and just like the original iPhone, remember, that thing originally shipped with no app store. You were stuck with literally the 16 apps that were on that iPhone. You had to wait until iOS 2 to come out in order to get the app store with third-party apps and such. So it'll probably be roughly the same thing with Vision Pro, I'm guessing. But hardware-wise, especially, that thing is so impressive. There are so many cameras on that thing that are absolutely great at tracking your motions and such. And the screens are also quite impressive. I sound like I tested this thing already, but that's just not true. But yeah, again, what Apple has shown off on stage, the displays that your eyes look at, the cameras and tracking and spatial awareness that that thing is trying to capture, the amount of processing power that that thing has as well, it's not actually relying on your iPhone or a Mac or anything like that. No, it is its own standalone device, unlike the Apple Watch. The one hardware thing about it that is not exactly that great, in my opinion, is the way they're handling the battery. Yeah, it's this thing that you put in your back pocket, so you got this cord running all the way up to the headset, and then the battery only lasts like, what, 2 hours? That's pathetic. And in terms of software-wise, well, I gotta admit, it's almost kind of pointless with how they've marketed it. I really think that they should have marketed this headset towards developers, kind of like the original Apple Silicon Mac, the first one ever. No, not the M1 Mac Mini or MacBook Pros. I'm actually talking about the Apple Silicon Developer Kit. Yeah, that Mac Mini with the A12Z chip in it. That type of product, in my opinion, is what the Apple Vision Pro headset really should have been, because at the moment, you can't really do much with that headset other than what Apple advertised. And I gotta admit, the use cases that Apple advertised with this thing aren't compelling, and if anything, it's actually what's really scaring me about the product itself. And so now at this point, we're basically going to derail all the way from talking about tech and gadgets to society, something I absolutely hate discussing because, guys, I know that a lot of you like to pretend society has always been this terrible, but I'm sorry. I think it just keeps getting worse after what I keep seeing, be it trends on the internet, behaviors in parking lots, and everyone's general attitude towards each other. It's gone down significantly significantly compared to years ago. And I should know, me growing up living the life of an outcast actually gives me the opportunity to observe society for how many years now. And I have to admit, guys, the more of society that I observe, it keeps getting worse. And okay, what does this have to do with Vision Pro? I actually think Vision Pro is only going to worsen the problem. How is this? Glad you asked. This right here I'm holding is a smartphone. Of course, you should know that. You probably have one. And if you don't, then you know somebody who has one. These things are so common to the point where I actually don't know a single person who uses one of those old school flip phones that used to be the thing before smartphones came out. The reason why I basically don't know a single person who doesn't own a smartphone is because these things can do so much. Like, I should know. I use this thing for so much. It's obviously the device that allows me to connect to people that are not in the same room as me. It's my camera to record those moments that I happen to actually remember to pull my camera out to take a picture of in the first place or record a video. It's my wallet that stores my debit cards and various other cards I have. Maybe someday my driver's license, if Michigan adds their state ID thing to the wallet app on your smartphone. It's also that media machine that helps you pass time. I also use the flashlight a lot. Seriously. In fact, actually, the way my face is illuminated right now, it's literally via an iPhone 13 Pro Max flashlight. We use our phones for that too. And the list of what we use our smartphones just continues to go on and on and on. Sometimes it's your keys, sometimes it's your wallet, sometimes it's your camera, sometimes it's your phone, sometimes it's your internet browser, sometimes it's your online marketplace. We use our phones for so much to the point where a bit of an issue that even I myself have noticed with myself, and is the reason why I switched back to this older iPhone XS Max compared to my 13 Pro Max, which I'm recording this video with. I think we're all a little too addicted to these things. Because these things are so freaking useful, they also have another function on them that, well, let's just say causes us to get a little more glued to it. Social media. Depending on who you are, it might be one of the greatest places to interact with your friends, or it also might be one of the most toxic places to interact with the most stupid of idiots out there. Yeah, social media really is a mixed bag in terms of social interaction. And I guess the reason why it's a little more toxic than maybe in-person interaction, my guess would be because what are you gonna do? Block me or something? Or there's almost no shame in anything you do in this versus you're out in the open, you're exposed, something could happen to you. I don't know, something like that. Okay, that whole bit aside. Point is, we're a little too attached to these things to the point where we're constantly on them. Every time I've walked into Subway, when I get lunch, every single customer I see in there is on their phone until they're getting service with their sandwich. They're on their phone, on social media, chatting away and such. And it's the same case in so many other settings. It's like the new habit all of a sudden when we're waiting for something to do. It feels like the new habit that humanity has created is whenever we're waiting for something important to happen, our new instant reaction that it's literally automated, we don't even think about it. Our new reaction is you put your hand in your pocket, you grab this glass/metal/plastic sandwich, whatever your phone's made out of, and then we just sit on social media until that important thing that we're waiting for to happen happens. It's kind of scary that is now officially our go-to action when we're waiting for something important to happen. We just go to the phone and to social media, see what's happening out there. That's worst case scenario for some. That's actually worst case scenario for me, to be honest. But it gets even worse for some other people out there who are even more addicted to their smartphones. Did I also mention that our smartphones can be gaming devices? Some people have a little bit of an issue with playing too many games on their phone and such, and I happen to know a few people who have that issue in particular. Okay, yeah, I get it. It's fun. It's a great way to pass the time, but I mean, well, is it really a great way to pass the time, actually? For some people, they do a little bit too much gaming is my point. And then for others, the biggest thing that pains me so much, especially with so many teenagers, this pains me every single time I see it happen. Two friends get together, and instead of doing what friends would typically do, I would think, and hanging out and doing activities with each other, like for me, recording YouTube videos with my friend Salt Pepper was something that I used to do until, unfortunately, life happened and we ended up getting busy doing our own things. And then another activity I did with another one of my friends, music. I can't tell you how much I miss playing music with her. And yeah, again, life happened. I wish I could do that again. The problem is, that's not what a lot of friends are doing when they get together now, a lot of it is, well, we just sit or stand around and browse social media and see the dumb things on TikTok or cringeworthy dances. Yeah, this is what the new social interaction has become between so many teenagers. It's maybe a little bit of conversation, but for the most part, they're just browsing TikTok. What? There's basically little to no interaction. That is my problem with smartphones at the moment. Smartphones are severing our connection with each other. So what does this have to do with Vision Pro? Well, the truth is, I think Vision Pro is only going to escalate this problem even more. Unlike with our smartphones that we've constantly got in our face just by, oh look, I'm, well, browsing Twitter right now. Let me see what's on Twitter. We got an Occupy Mars tweet. Nobody hate me, but I kind of like the round wheel. Ooh, Samsung Z Fold looks so bad next to the Pixel Fold. Hey guys, Apple Hub asked this question. Is silver the best iPhone 14 Pro color? Like imagine that you were trying to have a conversation with me and this is exactly what I did with you all the time. It's browse Twitter and, well, take a look at what's going on the internet. No, how about what's going on with you? How about what are we going to do together? How about we do something together that's fun or productive or something like that instead of just sit or stand around and browse the internet? As you may have noticed when I did that too, I held my phone up like right here. It's close to my face and such. With Vision Pro, it's literally 2 inches from your eyes. And despite that, yeah, people will argue that because this is an augmented reality headset where all you have to do is twist this dial and boom, the cameras on the outside of the headset will turn on and you can see everything out, no screen in front of your face. The other person is still disconnected from you because, yeah, guys, the screen thing on the outside that shows your eyes supposedly, that is creepy. And so many of the demos that Apple provided in their keynote just only enhance my point. When they were advertising that with the True Depth camera system built into the Vision Pro, you can now record 3D moments. And when you play them back, it's like you're living in the moment. But the truth was, when you recorded that moment in the first place, you weren't there to begin with. You're just looking at this screen and you're only getting this perspective that the screen's getting instead of, well, the rest of your senses as well. And then the people that are also in that moment, because we don't just record sunset moment or the drink we get from Starbucks. We don't just record those moments. We record a lot of moments when we're having fun with other people. And, well, this is just going to make it weird and awkward and less memorable or less positive of a memory for those other people who are not wearing this headset. If anything, this headset is really taking away from the moment that you're trying to capture. And then FaceTime is another issue too. Basically what they did with FaceTime is because, well, okay, you got this thing on your face and therefore how are you supposed to get your face visible to people on the other end of the FaceTime call? It's not you that FaceTime is showing anymore. It's an AI generated version of you. It's literally just a 3D fake model of you. It's not you. Everything I see about what this headset is going to do is only going to enhance the negatives about what smartphones can do for us. Yeah, there's a lot of positives, and I admit, I use this tool for so many different things to the point where, yeah, I'd go crazy if I can't find my smartphone because I use it for so many things. But there's also negatives to the smartphone as well, and it's the fact that a lot of us just can't put this thing down. And now with Vision Pro, where this is literally 2 inches from your face, how the heck are you supposed to put that thing down now when it's literally directly in your face? Like, sure, you could put your phone aside when somebody's talking to you or such, or figure out how to put that in your pocket, or just leave it behind on a table. But with Vision Pro, the supposed future is we're all going to be wearing this basically all the time. Okay, yeah, the battery life sucks, but I'm pretty sure they're eventually going to improve it to where you can wear this all the time. And also eventually in the form of a pair of smart glasses. So that way, yeah, it looks more socially acceptable compared to wearing this big, bulky thing on your face and such. That's the future that this AR, VR thing is really trying to promote. This is what Apple Vision Pro is really aiming towards at getting. Yeah, it's this big, bulky thing for now, but I have no doubt that eventually they're going to aim for getting it in the same form factor as your glasses. And at that point, when the tech gets there to the point where you can just put on your glasses and, well, basically you get all day battery life for your smart functionality in them, yeah, then at that point, now you're not going to put that phone down and you're going to continue to be more disconnected from your peers about you, which is only going to negatively impact society further. This lack of proper social interaction nowadays has resulted in us being, well, just total jerks towards one another, and I believe has made us become a lot more selfish. We don't think of our peers because we don't see our peers anymore. We now just interact with them through this device. We don't see our peers anymore. So we can't see how the things that we do affect society anymore. Our phones have been distracting us from that. And Vision Pro and future iterations where it becomes the form of glasses, that's only going to cause further issues with our problems of interacting with our peers. This is the reason why I am scared about Vision Pro. It is so self-centered because like another problem that actually this would definitely cause compared to your smartphone, unlike Vision Pro, you can share your smartphone with anyone. Like say, let me show you a picture of a Tesla Model S Plaid that I found at Subway today. See, here it is. I am literally showing you a picture that I took. You guys can see it. You can view my screen. But let's pretend this is Apple Vision Pro for a second where, all right, let's put the screen right in my face. Hey, I took this really cool picture of a Tesla Model S Plaid today. Okay, cool. Be nice if you could see it, right? It's even more self-centering our perspectives because now you can't share your screen with anybody. Like at least with your smartphone, you can share the things that you see with them just by handing them your phone. Or if you want to take a picture where you want to be in the picture yourself, but selfie ain't gonna cut it, at least you can do that. Vision Pro is not gonna allow you to do that. I promise you that. Movie watching with your family is also gonna become a lot more difficult if this supposedly replaces the TV, because effectively with this headset, you don't have to worry about your TV fitting in a certain area in your living room. You can have the biggest TV you want. It doesn't matter. But the problem is only one person can view it with that headset. And I'm sure, yeah, okay, eventually we're going to get to the point where they're going to be able to easily share what you're seeing on other people's devices and such, but that's just adding complication. And still, I find it very separating compared to just we all sit together and watch a movie on the same screen. So yeah, I don't think that Vision Pro is going to improve society today. If anything, it's only going to make it worse. The use cases that Apple has demoed on stage, I just genuinely don't find useful, and I find them very awkward when it comes to interacting with people who are using this in the first place. Because again, FaceTime, you're not seeing your actual friend, you're seeing a computer generated model of them. Yeah, you can feel that. It's going to add an extra barrier to them, and it's going to make your peers feel less connected to you. 3D photos, as cool as that is, it doesn't help those around you. All of your peers around you are going to not even realize you're there because they're going to think that you're in your own little world with this whole Vision Pro headset on. It's just not going to help. So these are my thoughts on Vision Pro. At this point, I'm just going to continue rambling. So what are your guys' thoughts on this headset? Mine, I can't say are positive. The hardware is impressive, not gonna lie, but in terms of how we use it, especially as a society, I can't say it's good. I'm sorry, I am absolutely terrified for what this is about to do to humanity. I am tired of constantly walking by, be it in the grocery store, parking lots, Subway, or whenever I go on trips and see different sites and such. I am constantly tired of seeing people only think of themselves and not care about your peers around you. I had an experience earlier today that just really does a good job at pointing out what happens when you put your phone down and such. I was at Walmart browsing the technology aisle as I usually do, and somebody had also walked up to the counter and was looking for the unlocked smartphones. He pointed towards I think it was like the Straight Talk section, and was asking, are these phones unlocked or something? And then I pointed out to him where the unlocked phones were, and evidently really helped him out. It was a nice gesture. And little did I know, we separated right after I just pointed out where those phones were. Little did I know when I walked out of the store, he'd walk out right by me and thank me for really helping him out. Can't tell you how good that feels. Just making a positive impact on society. But when we're all focused on these screens in our faces all the time, we can't do that. We're distracted. We don't see our peers, whether they're in need, or we don't see what we're doing when we're taking up 4 parking spaces in the parking lot. We've become so self-centered as a society, and Vision Pro is only going to enhance that self-centeredness. And this is why I am disappointed in Apple. In terms of the products that they've been coming out with as of late, I genuinely do not believe they are benefiting society anymore. The iPhones have barely changed, and despite that, yeah, they're still our most useful tool today. The iPhones have barely improved, and yet they're still getting price hikes. What's it doing? How's it benefiting society? I don't see it anymore. Some people still wonder, despite me being a tech enthusiast, why do I still use the XS Max? It's because I genuinely don't find all the newer iPhones that Apple's made better than this one to do my typical stuff. The only reason why I've kept my 13 Pro Max is literally just for YouTube, and because I gotta figure out how to get Job Boss back up and working on this phone too. I don't see anything that this phone can't do well enough for me that any new phone Apple has come out with can do. Yeah, they made their improvements with the cameras on the 13 Pro Max, and that's why I bought it. Not gonna lie, I've made a lot of use out of that. But for the most part, the most recent products that Apple has been coming out with, I've just continued to become more and more disappointed. iPhone 14s, they got a price increase when they did not deserve it. I'm sorry. The iPhone 14 should have remained at $700 while the 14 Plus should have been at $800. They did not need to be $100 more expensive than what I just stated. And iPhone 14 Pros have been a very buggy mess this year, unfortunately, so it's ruined a lot of people's experience. And basically, I know so many people who have the 14 Pro. My aunt, my guitar teacher, a couple of my other friends that have the 14 Pro, they're not enjoying their experiences with it because it's been buggy. I mean, iOS 16 has been part of the issue with it, but also trying to power the brand new features like Dynamic Island, it's not going too well for them. So at this point, I can't say that the new iPhones, they're just not benefiting society. They're just not really benefiting society as much as they used to. Apple Watch Series 8, I was so mad at that release because they put a new temperature sensor in it and they could have used it for so much more. But there's only one reason why they put it in, and it's really just to develop a feature that only women can use. I can't use it. For me, there is no reason to get the Series 8. I mean, crash detection is a thing, but I mean, my car's got OnStar. It can automatically detect if there's a crash and alert emergency services. That's a thing already. That would literally be the only benefit for me to get the Series 8, crash detection, and my car's already got it. So what is the point? There's no benefit to getting the Series 8, especially if you're a guy. And it drives me nuts when Apple comes out with so many features or so many accessories or so many or Apple is working really hard on promoting a lot of society's problems, and I'm not going to dive into it too much because yeah, I'm going to get canceled right away if I do. But there's so much bullshit that we're all fighting about online, in person, all over the globe, and it's total bullshit we're fighting about. And what's driving me nuts is Apple's promoting it, and if anything, they're trying to come out with exclusive accessories that cater to those minorities. And this is becoming a trend. Now, I'm not even talking about the minorities of absolute stupidity that's going on right now. I'm talking about, like, even when it comes to coming up with use cases to use these are so uncommon. Why does Apple bother investing in them when these are going to go so heavily unused? The Mac Pro, what the heck happened with that thing? And so yeah, I've been disappointed with Apple. They're not catering towards the masses anymore. I thought that's what Apple was doing when the XR series came out, because they literally made a phone that was not supposed to be the highest end like the XS and XS Max. They made a phone that was really good for the masses, and I thought that's what they were also going to continue doing with the iPhone 11 series, because they actually made the iPhone XR even better with the iPhone 11. They added an extra camera lens, the battery life seriously got a massive improvement, and on top of all of the features that iPhone gained, it came with a $50 price reduction. That was such a good phone that just catered to so many people. But now Apple's coming out with these products again that are so freaking niche to the point where I just can't recommend it. I don't know how to recommend it. The iPad Pros, the way that they are designed is for a demographic that is extremely niche that I cannot recommend them to anyone. And so because of Apple catering towards such minor niches, I don't think they're making the best products anymore. Now, compared to the competition, they're still making the best products, but the latest things that they've been coming out with, I don't see how they're benefiting society anymore. At this point, it's just minor upgrades for features that, for the most part, we're not going to use. The majority of us can't use them. They're not intended for us. They're going so niche now. And so that's basically why I'm disappointed with Apple. They're not really making products anymore that benefit the masses. All right, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing out.